Greetings. In this video, we will be looking at the difference between Namah Shivaya and Shivaya Namaha. The difference and the significance between the usage of this Panchakshari. The variations within the Panchakshari have opened forums over the net, catalyzing debates and discussions on the significance of these variations and their usage. Now let us look at the origin of this 5-syllabled mantra. The mantra Namah Shivaya finds place in the 5th chapter of the 4th Kanda of the Taittiriya Samhita of the Yajurveda. This portion is commonly referred to as the Rudra Prashna or Shri Rudram. It is a very powerful portion of the Vedas, and you can find it being recited in all established Shaiva temples. At one point in time, the mantra was altered so it becomes Om Shivaya Namaha instead of Om Namah Shivaya as revealed by the Vedas. This is why the experts and teachers of Shaiva Agamas always use Shivaya Namaha and not Namah Shivaya. And you'll also know why I use the intonation a specific Swara whenever I recite the Panchakshari. Now looking at the origin of the Vedas hold their own dimension in the hierarchy of ancient scriptures. They are not of human origin. The universe is made up of vibrations, and vibration equates to sound energy. It is sound that gives the entire cosmos its geometry. Sound is the skeleton that gives universe its body. The ancient sages and rishis who walked the earth were engaged in deep penance which enabled them to gain access to the infinite knowledge and truths of the cosmos. They were able to download these truths in the form of sounds, meaning mantras, which they received and envisioned. The collection of these mantras is what we generally refer to as the Vedas. As such, the mantras denote the very blueprint of the cosmos. The Vedas are learned and realized through recitation. As the rishis realized the truth through these mantras, through this sound energy, the same sound formulae must be replicated for one to realize the truths conveyed by the Vedas. Therefore, the Vedas have strict rules pertaining to their recitation, out of which the Swara, which is intonation, is of prime importance. Let us look at the Swara of the Panchakshari. As the Panchakshari is from the Vedas, the very utterance of Namah Shivaya is bound to a particular Swara. We cannot add our own rhythm and tune to it. Hence, Shivacharyas resorted to the usage of Panchakshari as Shivaya Namaha. Shaivites add relevant bija mantras like Ham with the Panchakshari as well. For example, Om Ham Shivaya Namaha or Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. The effect or purpose of the mantra remains undisturbed. In simpler words, we are simply avoiding the Swara complexity when reciting the mantra. Now let us look at the flaw here. The Panchakshari is generally believed to be only present in the Rudra Prashna of the Yajurveda. It actually appears in other parts of the Vedas too. Here is the surprise. It actually appears as Shivaya Namaha also. Shivaya Namaha comes in the Taittiriya Aranyakam of the Yajurveda. To be specific, it appears in the 16th to 25th Anuvakas of the 10th Prashna of the Taittiriya Aranyakam, which is in reference to the lessons of the Yajurveda which were learned in the forest region in strict discipline. Very few Shaivites are aware of this. Hence, in reality, both Namah Shivaya and Shivaya Namaha are indeed from the Vedas. Both have their Swaras. Let us look at how altering mantras preserves influence of Swaras. For the sake of an argument, let us pretend that Shivaya Namaha does not exist in the Vedas. That does not act as a criteria for one to use Shivaya Namaha without Swaras. Traditionally, the Vedas were learned and mastered through 11 ways. In these 11 methods, the words of the mantras are strung and recited in a complex sequence. For example, let us look at the Ghanapathaha, the most complex method among the 11 styles. The sequence would be 1 2 2 1 1 2 3 3. Taking the famous Gayatri mantra or the Savitri mantra as an example, so the first word is Tat, followed by Savituhu, Varenyam, Bhargaha, Devasya. So we have 5 words here. So if we recite this in the Ghanam format, the most complex among 11 methods which I mentioned, it would sound something like this. Tat savitus savitus tat tat savitur vare enyam vare enyagum savitus tat tat savitur vare enyam, and so forth. Now, here is a portion of Rudram when recited in Ghanam mode. Here, when the words are strung in a particular pattern, we do recite Shivaya Namaha as well, which is represented as Shivaya Namo in script. Namaha becomes Namo under a grammar rule. So in a nutshell, Om Namah Shivaya or Shivaya Namaha, they both carry the same potential or significance. There is no difference between them. Today, those who have their hearts closer to Vedas use Om Namah Shivaya, while those who are into Shaiva Agamas use Om Shivaya Namaha. Personally, I stand by the stance that we are permitted to take a mantra from the Vedas and use it without adherence to the given Swara. To me, the Swaras matter if we recite a verse in its whole and not to a few words from a particular verse or stanza. Of course, this is simply an opinion of mine. Thank you for watching.